I was gonna make a whole video about like who William is. Like I made the William in a nutshell thing, but people were still confused as to who he was and why he's such a prominent figure on my channel. Me and him used to go to school together in like not senior, sophomore year. Sophomore year for me, freshman year for him, and he and I just got along really well, and we would make jokes and stuff. And we'd laugh, and we'd get in trouble together, all that good stuff. At one point, I'd left because this is a friend back in Washington. I live in Arizona now. Those are some states if you're not familiar with America. I know there's a couple of people, especially apparently India is where I get like the second most traffic actually. So hello to all the Indians out there. Me and him got along pretty well. And one day I had left Washington to move to Arizona with my mom, and me and him tried to keep a pretty good friendship. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but then we got into this thing because I used to do music back in Washington. He basically, like, I'd use this thing called GarageBand. I'm sure there's every single musician knows what that one is. Those were the starting grounds, and I'd just make my own songs and stuff. So I started out doing that, and then I wanted to make my own music. So I ended up getting a launch pad. I got pretty decent at it. I was doing good for a while, and I brought it up to my friend William, and we ended up like doing a collaboration type deal. He would upload the videos, and I would make all the music and the stuff for it. Like sometimes I'd make the album art even. Like so I would make pretty much everything, and then all I really needed him for was to upload the videos. And so because I didn't know how to do that at the time, I had no clue at the time. This is like 4 years ago now. About around that time, we started doing that together. He was wanting to do like more and more things, like weird things. Like he wanted to like post like all of my music onto his channel, and his reasoning for this was like better traction type deal. And we were doing great for a long while, like almost a solid year, maybe a year and a half or something. We were just vibing, doing good on YouTube and stuff, like making albums and stuff back then. And eventually it got to, he started getting like copyright strikes on his videos, like on his own channel, like an actual like copy strike to his channel. He ended up being like really problematic, and so I was just like, listen, I can't have you on my channel if you're this problematic. I can't have that going to my channel. I already had copyright issues. People trying to steal my music and saying that it was theirs, which I tried to dispute, but obviously that's not how the copyright system works on YouTube. You started to develop a pattern, like you could see a pattern in the way that he was acting. He would steal my friend's jokes, his art, his stuff on his YouTube, like post straight up just reruns of his jokes on YouTube. And that was the final straw. I was like, listen, I can't have you on here anymore. And he did not like that. He did not like that one bit. He decided to throw a fit for like 2 months, go and stay off YouTube and all that stuff. And I brought it up to him because eventually I was told by my mutual friend, he would go around school pretending that it was him who made all the music and stuff. So that's why he wanted me to post on his channel or have my songs posted on his channel, he wanted to basically get free content, number one. And number two, he wanted to pretend to everybody that he was the person behind everything. Behind the album, the names, he was the man behind everything type deal. Sometimes he'd make some album art, and I'd feel a bit iffy about it because it looks like it was just a copy and paste with a couple of effects on it, and I didn't like that. You can't just trace something and then put a million After Effects on it and hope that it's gonna be a good enough thing. I mean, you can, but that's just a really pathetic excuse for like an album art type deal. He didn't do any of it. Like he'd name some songs, and it was just such unimportant stuff. Like he thinks that it would be like an even 50-50, but in reality it was more like 70-30 at best. But he wanted to tell everybody that he was the one behind it. And I was so not cool with that. I brought it up to him, and he finally uploaded a video on his YouTube channel again, and then he tried to explain it away, just being like, I don't know if I thoroughly explained it or not, but he actually makes all the songs himself. I'm just the person, all the stuff that I was telling him that I was thinking. Literally, all the stuff that I was already telling him. After that, he just drifted away. He stopped just talking to me. He stopped hanging out with me. Eventually, it got to the point where because I was in Arizona, so I would fly back to Washington for a month to go see my family and stuff. And while I was there, I usually would set things up, like a 4th of July type party. It was my friend's birthday, and it was the 4th of July, so it was like perfectly timed. And so we would throw that stuff, and that was kind of an annual thing that I would do. And the year after I stopped doing that, the YouTube stuff, he was so mad that he refused to come and hang out with me. He was like, nah, I want to stay here, nah, I want to stay there. And then I tell him that our mutual friend, it was his birthday, I tell William, I'm like, what the? You good, man? That guy was having a bit of a problem there. I tell him that our mutual friend's gonna be there. Well, his name's Brazy. William, he can't get enough of Brazy for some reason. Brazy's like a little popular kid, pretty boy type. At least on Instagram. I know him in real life, and that's not you won't get that vibe, but he sets the tone for that type of stuff. So everybody, he's pretty popular around school, and William loves that. He loves the popular kids, and he wants to be a part of the popular. He wants to be with the popular kids. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe he just like really wants to fuck him, and I don't know about it. Could be that. It actually probably could be, honestly. But either way, I said that Brazy was going to be there for the 4th of July thing, and he ended up coming. I called him up and I was like, "Listen, Brazy's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there, and you're just going to not show up." And then he was like, "Brazy's going to be there. I'll be there tomorrow." So that was like the key point in kind of our friendship, sort of, where I was like, okay, well, this guy's a piece of shit. He showed up. He brought his weed and stuff. We waited an hour or so, chilling out in the forest, rolling some stuff, and eventually we headed out to the spot that we were going to go to hang out for the day, and Brazy never showed up. Brazy wasn't able to actually show up for the thing because it was obviously his birthday. He wasn't just about to be able to go out of his house. His parents are a little bit strict, so they're not really too keen on letting their kid, especially on their first birthday. You know some stuff is about to happen when your teenager is about to head out to the forest to hang out with their friends on their birthday. You already know that something stupid's gonna happen. So he didn't make it out, and William did not have that. He was not having that. He threw a whole fit, and he left. He didn't even bring his stuff with him. He just left it all there and just went home. And since then, I just grew a resentment, and he just got worse and worse. Eventually, I started making fun of him, making a bunch of edits. And that first one that I ever made, Reese's Buff, you guys, that is some quality content. He didn't like that, obviously, so we kind of grew apart after a while. Bro, I set up a whole party and everything for all of our friends, just so he can hang out with us. And he couldn't even do that, and then made it like a problem that I created or something. Like, he made it all my fault for some reason. But yeah, that's pretty much the majority of it on William. Like, if you ever wanted to know who he is, that's the person he is, man.